The weather will be crazy in March as we are anticipating multiple big storms just over the next couple of weeks that'll pose the threat of severe weather, including damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes, in addition to a couple of more shots of snow. So in today's forecast, we're going to break down exactly what you need to know about the weather that'll be impacting the United States as we head into March, and we'll begin with what's happening across the country today, which we actually do have a big storm system that is forming right now back over in the Northeast, and this is going to bring some showers and even some snow showers throughout the daytime today and as well as into early tomorrow morning. And this particular storm system is associated with an elongated cold front that has moved across many areas from Texas all the way back through the Ohio Valley this morning. Many of you back over in Ohio and Indiana were in the 60s and 70s yesterday, with even some thunderstorms at a couple areas with around quarter-sized hail even, but now we're down into the 30s and 40s this morning behind this cold frontal boundary, so definitely a bit of a difference out there. And then back over on the west coast and as well as through the northern plains, things are quiet for now, but that will be changing as we go into the weekend. The weather is going to be crazy over the next couple of weeks as we are anticipating several big storm systems as we head into March. This is what the jet stream looks like right now. We do have relatively meridional flow right now, which is allowing for a high pressure system back over on the west coast to build that's keeping things drier over there. But on the other hand, we do have a storm system that is forming back over in the northeast. But notice how far north this particular jet stream is lifted. This is the polar jet stream, so all the cold air essentially is very far off to the north right now in the United States. However, that'll be changing as we go into next week. This is what it looks like by the weekend. The jet stream will actually dip a bit further down to the south, which is going to allow for a cold blast to impact areas like the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and also back into the Northeast. And while all this is happening, we're going to have a cutoff low back over in California Saturday, and this could actually pose an isolated risk for severe weather as we go into Sunday back over in the southern plains. So once we go into Sunday and Monday, this storm system will move into the southern plains, but notice how it is weakening as it moves into Oklahoma and Texas. This means the severe weather threat will be low. It's also going to be conditional, and this is not going to be a very impactful storm. What will be a lot more impactful is the storm system that happens Monday into Wednesday. We are going to have a huge storm that comes off the Pacific Ocean as we go into Monday, and this thing is going to amplify as it moves over the Rocky Mountains. A lot of mixing in terms of warm and cold air is going to happen back over in the Great Plains, and we are anticipating one of the biggest storms that we've seen all year, especially when it comes to the risk of severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center already has a risk of severe weather in the Deep South, by the way, for Tuesday, which looks to be the biggest day for severe weather next week. So by Tuesday afternoon, this storm system is likely going to be negatively tilted. That's at least what the European model is showing right now, which if we end up getting this negative tilt on this particular storm system, that is going to amplify the jet stream, pull a lot more moisture out of the Gulf, and create a huge storm. I mean, we're talking about the potential for showers and thunderstorms that could actually go as far north as areas like southern and central Illinois and even southern Indiana. But our main area that we're going to be watching for a risk of severe weather will be mostly along the Mississippi River Valley during the daytime and even into the evening hours on Tuesday. By Wednesday into Thursday, the storm system will be racing off to the northeast, and this is not it. I do anticipate even the second week of March to be very active. I think we're going to continue to see big dips in the jet stream, which are going to allow for several different storm systems to be impacting the United States. So I think in the first couple of weeks of March, definitely be ready for an active pattern. I think we're going to have about 2, maybe even 3 big storms that impact the United States between March 1st and March 15th. And then after that, I think we're going to continue to see an active weather pattern as we get closer to April, with a lot more big severe weather events in the near future. But for now, Tuesday is definitely the day to watch for in the Deep South. Now let's put this more into simplistic terms with the future radar over the next several days. And this is what it looks like as we go throughout the rest of today. Some snow and rain back over in the Northeast. We're only expecting a handful of inches of snow back over in northern New England. By tomorrow morning, we're actually going to have a significant snow event happening back over in the upper Michigan Peninsula, northern Michigan, and as well as Wisconsin. This will eventually move into the Northeast as we go into late Friday night and early Saturday with only an inch or 2 of snow to show for. But areas like the upper Michigan Peninsula could see as much as 12 inches of snow. We're talking about a significant winter weather event, but it's also a very small winter weather event. As we go into late Sunday and into Monday, we are anticipating a small storm to move across the southern plains, isolated severe weather being possible, but I think if we get any sort of risk of severe weather, it'll be driven towards Sunday evening back over in parts of North Texas, and then eventually that would move into Louisiana and Texas. Overall, though, it's a conditional risk. We don't exactly know if that's going to happen yet. Eventually, as we go into Monday afternoon and evening, most areas are dry. If you're back over along the West Coast or in the Pacific Northwest, some snow and rain will be happening over there, but nothing out of the ordinary for this time of the year. And then by Tuesday, we are talking about a huge storm forming across across the Great Plains. There are a lot of things we're going to have to watch for Tuesday across the United States, including the risk for a severe weather outbreak back over in Texas, into the lower Mississippi Valley, and even perhaps as far north, again, as areas like Illinois or even Indiana. We are talking about that potential with a very strong southerly wind likely. A negatively tilted trough, again, would amplify the potential for severe weather and would shift that severe weather threat even further to the north. So that is a key thing we need to watch for on Tuesday, and there will likely be some snow with this. Now, exactly where that snow falls, we don't exactly know quite yet, but I think it's more favorable to happen back over near the Rockies and then perhaps even into the upper Midwest as we eventually go into Wednesday. But look at this by Tuesday afternoon and evening. We are talking about an explosion of showers and thunderstorms along the Mississippi River Valley with damaging winds, hail, and tornadoes all being a possibility. Again, I'm not going to say that we're going to see a tornado outbreak quite yet, but I do think that is not something that is off the table as of right now with this particular storm system, especially since it'll be an intensifying storm system. Eventually, as we go into Wednesday morning, those showers and thunderstorms are moving across the southeast. We could see a resparking of severe weather back over in the southeast Wednesday, and then also snow falling back over in the upper Midwest. And then eventually, as we go into late Wednesday and into Thursday, this storm system is racing out of the United States. And behind that, we are anticipating more storm systems, but exactly when those happen and how significant they are all remains kind of up in the air. For comparison, this is the GFS model as we go into Tuesday. There are some model discrepancies as of right now, exactly how intense the severe weather will be and also how significant the snowfall will be. This is what it looks like Tuesday afternoon, and again, notice a huge complex of thunderstorms, but a bit messier of a setup, in addition to the snow being a lot thinner of an area. So a lot of things we're going to have to work out here over the next couple of days in terms of the forecast, but I think no matter what happens, this is likely going to be one of the biggest storms that we see all March long. The GFS model also has a slower progression as this moves towards the east coast, which could amplify the amount of snowfall and perhaps even provide another shot of severe weather sometime on Thursday. But again, too many uncertain details at this time. The models are still a little bit all over the place, but we are definitely anticipating one of the biggest storms so far of the year as we go into the middle of next week. One thing I do want to point out on Tuesday is that we are dealing with some of the most instability that we've dealt with all year long, which means that the environment is forecasted to be very unstable as we head into Tuesday of next week. Notice that area of instability Tuesday morning, very far off to the north, even up into Iowa, which means that we could technically see severe weather as far north as Iowa. We just need a storm up there, not necessarily forecasting severe weather though there as of right now. By the time we go into Tuesday afternoon and evening, notice that instability, it's still very far to the north. We could end up seeing severe weather as far north as central Illinois and even perhaps as far north as even St. Louis in Missouri. But the majority of our severe weather threat on Tuesday will still be confined to the deep south. So make sure that you're staying weather aware. Very high chance that we will be live on this channel on Tuesday with multiple storm chasers out there. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel and click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live on either Tuesday or Wednesday. This is also the low-level jet Tuesday night. We are going to have a very strong area of low-level winds associated with this storm system across the deep south, which is also going to amplify the risk for both damaging winds and tornadoes. So this is again a day that we need to watch for very closely. Again, I think we're going to see a severe weather outbreak on Tuesday. The magnitude and also the scale of this is still uncertain, so make sure you stay tuned. We'll keep you posted with the latest details. Tomorrow's video is going to go even more in detail about the severe weather threat, and then we're going to get more and more detailed as we continue to go through these weather updates here on this channel. And if you're back over in the upper Midwest, we are talking about a lot of snowfall, mainly in the upper Michigan Peninsula, where upwards of 6 to 10 inches of snow will be a possibility. Notice how narrow, though, this area of heavy snowfall is. It's really not that large. This winter weather event, very confined, so overall the totals will be very significant in a few areas, but if you go 50 miles further south or west, you might have no snow on the ground from this particular storm system. Back over in areas like Detroit or even in central Michigan, not anticipating much snow, and then 3 to 6 inches of snow in northern Michigan. And the temperature roller coaster will continue in the United States for the next couple of weeks. We are anticipating another cold blast as we go into the weekend across the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and the Northeast. Not quite an Arctic blast. Most areas will drop about 10 to 20 degrees below average. By the time we go into Monday and as well as into Tuesday, warm air builds across the Great Plains before eventually that storm system moves over the Rockies, and that's going to filter in a lot of colder air. A lot of that is going to come right over the Rockies and just out of Canada, which is going to bring some colder weather, but not necessarily Arctic weather across areas like the Great Plains as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. By the time we go into the weekend, if this trough takes a more northerly track, that would allow for some Arctic air to move into parts of Canada and the Northeast, but it's a pretty low chance, at least for now. And then as we go later into March, by around the middle of March, I do anticipate temperatures to stay relatively above average across across most areas in the Great Plains, the Ohio Valley, and along the East Coast. Below average temperatures will likely continue back over on the West Coast, even into mid-March. And as always, thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. And as a reminder, our 1 million subscriber merch is out at shopmaxvelocity.net. That is the top link in the description below. We still have some signed hats left in addition to our t-shirts, hats, stickers, mugs, and posters, all available at shopmaxvelocity.net. Again, these designs are incredible, and by purchasing any of our items, you are both supporting our designer and our team that is helping to ship out some of these items, in addition to supporting the channel and what we do here. I really do appreciate you guys supporting our store, and we'll see you guys all again in the next video.